You have just opened your eyes to a new day, and almost instantaneously, you felt the weight of the hours to come knocking at the door of your heart. I know that your mind has already begun to accelerate, listing every pending task, every difficult conversation that needs to be faced, and every small uncertainty that tries to steal your peace before you even get out of bed. It is natural to feel this anticipated exhaustion, this urgency to solve everything with your own hands, as if the success of this day depended exclusively on your breath and your strength. However, before allowing the noise of the world to invade your spirit, I invite you to take a deep breath and recognize that this moment of stillness is not a delay, but the necessary foundation for everything you will accomplish in the coming hours of your journey. This encounter does not happen by chance. It is a response to your deep desire not to walk alone through the challenges that await you out there. You decided to stop here because you understand, deep down, that the frantic rush and anxiety cannot offer the security that your soul seeks so much at this start of the morning. Feel this welcome now, as if a firm and gentle hand were being placed on your shoulder, asking you to slow down the rhythm of your thoughts and allow yourself to be just you before eternity. This is your safe space, a sanctuary of time that we reserve so that your vision can be cleared and your energy renewed, ensuring that you enter the battlefield of routine duly clothed in a peace that the world can never take away from you. While the world outside begins to awaken with its noises and demands, there is a silent and powerful presence that was already waiting for you at this very moment. It is not a matter of chance or a simple coincidence that you are hearing these words now, but a divine appointment, a direct invitation from the Creator for your heart to align with the frequency of eternity before any other activity. God knows perfectly the battles you will face in the coming hours, and, in His infinite mercy, He has provided this moment of pause so that your soul does not start the day in a deficit, but overflowing with the certainty that there is a sovereign government taking care of every detail. Feel this deep connection establishing itself now, like a thread of light passing through the mist of your morning worries. Consider this video as a temporary sanctuary, a sacred refuge where the time of the clock loses its tyranny and gives way to the time of grace and spiritual rest. Here, in this safe space of surrender, you are invited to lay down the weapons of self-sufficiency and allow your vision to be recalibrated by the truth that sustains the universes. It is the moment to align your plans with the purposes of the One who sees the end from the beginning and who desires to lead your steps with a wisdom that surpasses common human understanding. Let this atmosphere of peace envelop your being, dissipating lethargy and uncertainty as you prepare for a deep immersion in the faithfulness of a God who never fails. This is your essential alignment, the solid foundation upon which everything else in your day will be built. Before we move on to the profound truths that will transform your perspective on this day, I invite you to perform a small physical gesture that symbolizes your internal readiness to receive what the Creator has reserved for you. If possible, close your eyes for a brief second and place the palm of your right hand over your heart, feeling the rhythm of the life that pulses in you now as a direct gift from the hands of God. This touch is not merely a movement of the body, but a spiritual signaling that you are present, attentive, and with the doors of your soul open for the alignment we are about to experience together. By doing this, you declare to your own being that control no longer belongs to your anxiety, but to the faithfulness of the One who sustains the universe with His powerful word. The word of the Lord is right, and all His works are done with absolute faithfulness, and this is the unshakable rock upon which you are being invited to build your day to day. When you look at your schedule and see a mountain of demands and responsibilities, it is easy to feel that you are walking on quicksand, but the biblical truth of Psalm 33 assures us that the same decree that established the limits of the seas sustains your life now. The spiritual thesis for your next 24 hours is that God's righteousness eliminates the need for you to live in confusion or constant alert. Because His word is the foundation of creation, you can rest in the certainty that your hands do not need to carry alone the weight of your own existence and immediate destiny. Consider the plans you have drawn up for this day, from the most important meetings to the small details of your domestic routine that seem to steal your vital energy. Psalm 33 reminds us that although the plans of nations may be frustrated, the counsel of the Lord stands forever, and the thoughts of His heart last through all generations. This means that your structural security does not depend on your ability to foresee every unforeseen event, but on your ability to surrender to the sovereign government of the one who already knows the end from the beginning. By aligning your spirit with that sovereignty, you remove from your shoulders the crushing burden of being the sole architect of your success and allow divine providence to take over the direction of your steps, transforming every challenge into a clear manifestation of care. Know that the eyes of the Lord are fixed on those who fear Him, on those who place their hope in His inexhaustible mercy, and this constitutes a strategic shield for your anxious mind. Your self-sufficiency is, in reality, a fragile shield that shatters at the first problem. But God's faithfulness is an impenetrable fortress that protects your heart against the darts of morning worry. By starting your morning under this sacred shadow, you ensure that your energy is invested in that which is eternal and productive, rather than being wasted on the friction of trying to control the uncontrollable. God is your help and your shield, and by recognizing this truth now, the lethargy of waking up is replaced by an active faith, allowing you to walk with the posture of one who is kept in peace. Take a deep breath once more and allow the echo of these eternal truths to begin silencing any residual noise that tries to distract your mind in this early morning. We are now crossing the threshold of reflection to enter the sacred ground of direct communion, where your words find the attentive ear of the one who created the heavens and the earth. Feel your heart rate slow down and your posture become lighter, as if an invisible weight were being lifted from your shoulders by the hand of divine grace. This is the solemn moment in which we stop talking about God to talk with God, opening the soul so that His peace floods every corner of your anxiety. Prepare your heart, because from now on, every phrase will be a step of surrender and trust in His government. Lord, on this morning that unfolds before me, I choose to lift my thoughts to your incomparable majesty and to the creative force of your voice, which brought into existence everything my eyes can behold. I recognize that by your word the heavens were made, and that the entire host of stars was formed by the breath of your sovereign mouth, demonstrating that nothing is too difficult for the God who sustains the vastness of the universe with absolute precision. You are the King who rules the nations and the Lord who observes every inhabitant of the earth with a gaze of justice and righteousness, establishing your throne upon the truth that is not shaken. I adore your greatness because it is the safe roof under which I begin my journey, knowing that your sovereignty is the foundation of my hope. Father, I thank you deeply for the sacred gift of this new breath of life that fills my lungs, and for the silent miracle of my awakening, which is a living proof that your mercies have been renewed over me. Thank you for this day that begins, for this opportunity to start over, and for the invisible protection that guarded my sleep while I was vulnerable and unconscious in the darkness of the night. I feel gratitude for every beat of my heart and for the mental clarity I receive now, understanding that every second of the coming hours is a deposit of grace that I do not deserve, but that you offer me with paternal love. My soul rejoices knowing that your faithfulness preceded me this morning, preparing the way and ensuring that I never walk forsaken through the routine. God, I confess before you that I often wake up with a chest tight with anxiety and a mind overloaded by the weight of responsibilities that I myself try to carry in an isolated and self-sufficient way. I admit that the fear of the unforeseen and the pressure of the tasks that await me have stolen my peace, making me forget that the control of all things belongs solely to your powerful and just hands. I name now every accumulated fatigue, every financial worry, every relationship conflict, and every doubt that tries to paralyze my steps at this start of the morning journey. I hand over to you this heavy burden that does not belong to me to carry, recognizing my human fragility before your eternal strength, and I ask that your dissipating presence remove every shadow of anguish now. Lord, I ask you now to take total control of my schedule and every decision I will need to make over the next few hours, for your word is right, and in it I find safe direction. May my thoughts be guided by your wisdom, so that I do not get lost in vain plans or human efforts that do not produce eternal fruit for my soul or for your kingdom. Place words of grace and spiritual authority in my mouth, so that in every conversation and every interaction I may reflect your justice and your unconditional love. May my productivity not be the result of my despair, but of my rest in you, knowing that you are the one who blesses the work of my hands and who prospers the paths of those who walk in righteousness and integrity. Father, I pray that you will be my help and my protective shield against all visible and invisible snares that may arise during this day, for my soul waits patiently for you. May your eyes, which are upon those who fear you, guard my coming in and my going out, delivering me from accidents, bad news, and influences that try to divert my heart from your perfect purpose. I declare that no weapon forged against my spiritual peace will succeed, for I am hidden in the cleft of the rock that is your unshakable and eternal faithfulness. Protect also my mind against thoughts of defeat and excessive self-criticism, clothing me with the armor of your truth, so that I can face every challenge with the courage of one who knows that the Creator of the universe is his defender. I declare now that your word is right, Lord, and that all your works are done with faithfulness, so I trust that my day is already duly structured by your grace. I repeat to my own spirit that your word is right, and that all your works are marked by your loyalty, finding in this rhythm the security necessary to move forward without any fear. I feel that with each repetition of this truth, my anxiety decreases and my faith grows stronger, for your faithfulness is the foundation that does not move, regardless of external storms. Your word is right in the midst of the chaos of my tasks, and your work is faithful in every detail of my life, creating a symphony of peace that harmonizes my awakening and prepares my soul for complete victory. My soul waits for the Lord with a joyful and confident expectation, for he is truly my help and my unshakable shield against the uncertainties of this passing and noisy world. In him my heart rejoices, because in his holy name I fully trust to go through every minute of the coming hours with my head held high and my feet firm on the path. I declare that I will not be shaken by adverse circumstances, for my hope is not placed in the strength of horses or the intelligence of men, but in the mercy of God that sustains me. My faith is the anchor that keeps me safe while the sea of routine tries to toss me, and I affirm with conviction that the Lord is good, and that his care for me is detailed, constant, and perfectly adapted. Imagine now, as you continue in prayer, that the presence of God is walking ahead of you through every room of your house and every place where you will step today. See with the eyes of faith the Lord organizing your papers, preparing the spirits of the people you will talk to, and clearing the way of any obstacles that could cause a fall or mental confusion. Feel the divine care as a soft light that illuminates the dark corners of your worries, transforming what seemed like an insoluble problem into a clear opportunity for the manifestation of God's power in your life. You are not going alone to work, to study, or to domestic tasks. The shepherd of your soul is guiding your steps by still waters and green pastures, even in the midst of the day's agitation. Visualize the peace of God as an invisible shield that envelops your entire body, creating a sacred barrier that prevents the world's haste from penetrating your inner sanctuary of tranquility. Even if the phone rings incessantly or demands arise unexpectedly, you see yourself maintaining a center of deep calm, acting with discernment and reacting with the gentleness of someone who has already surrendered everything. Feel the spiritual rest settling into your thoughts, replacing morning fatigue with a renewed energy that comes directly from the eternal source of life and hope. You are able to breathe deeply and smile at the immediate future, for the security you feel now is not a passing illusion, but the spiritual reality of being kept by the one who never sleeps and who constantly watches over you. God, I now surrender each of the next 24 hours into your hands, renouncing my desire for selfish control and fully accepting your good, pleasing, and perfect will for me. May every minute of this day be an act of continuous worship, where my work, my rest, and my conversations reflect the glory of your name and the depth of your presence in me. I seal this commitment of faith with the certainty that you have already heard my cry, and that your answer is coming to meet me with provision, protection, and abundant peace. I begin my routine now, not with a spirit of fear, but with a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind, knowing that your faithfulness is my shield, and your love is my constant song through the day. I now lift my spirit to a level of absolute trust, where doubt finds no place to remain, for I recognize that the God who dominates the oceans is the same who governs the details of my story today. I feel a supernatural force running through my being, an unshakable certainty that I am not a slave to fear or circumstances, but I am a child of the one who frustrates the counsel of the nations and who establishes his eternal plan over all the face of the earth. I declare with spiritual authority that this day will not be marked by my exhaustion, but by the glorious manifestation of God's power in my every weakness, for his right hand is my guaranteed victory. Nothing can stop the sovereign purpose that has been decreed over my next few hours of life. This is the moment when my faith becomes a burning flame, consuming all hesitation and all uncertainty that tried to paralyze me when I opened my eyes. For I know whom I have believed, and I am fully convinced of his extreme faithfulness. I clothe myself now with the armor of light, proclaiming that my heart is overflowing with an unspeakable joy, founded on the rock that never shakes before the storms of real life. The Lord is my help, my impenetrable shield, and my fortress of protection against all evil, and under his wings I find the perfect refuge to win every battle that rises against my peace. I move forward into this day with the posture of a winner, not by my own merit, but because the captain of my salvation walks before me. Now, feel this intensity transform into a deep and serene calm, like the sea that stills after the master's voice. The weight you felt upon waking has been replaced by a lightness that flows from the inside out, organizing your thoughts and giving you back the breath needed to face tasks with clarity. You no longer need to race against time, for time is in the hands of the one who created it for his praise and rest. Let this peace, which surpasses all understanding, seal your heart and your mind, creating a barrier of protection against the haste and irritability that try to invade your day. Breathe in this tranquility, knowing that the structure of your life is secure under the watchful eye of the Lord, who never fails in his daily and constant providence. As you prepare to get up and start your physical movements, take with you this atmosphere of spiritual shielding that we built together this morning. You are now clothed in an armor of stillness that will make you a channel of blessing wherever you go, being a stabilizing presence in the midst of other people's chaos. As a final gesture of expanding this peace, I invite you to think of someone who also woke up under the weight of anxiety today, and send this prayer to that person, allowing the same faithfulness that reached you now to also heal the heart of the one you love. This act of spiritual altruism seals your own healing, for by watering the life of another, your own hope is multiplied, and God's care becomes even more evident. To seal this moment of surrender and declare your victory over the coming hours, write now in the comments a small phrase of faith, affirming that your hope is placed entirely in the Lord for this day. By doing this, you materialize your trust and join a current of peace that cannot be broken by the haste or noise of the world outside. Receive now the full blessing of the Creator upon your life, taking with you the certainty that God's hand will guide you through paths of prosperity and clarity. May the abundant grace of Jesus, the love of the Father, and the communion of the Spirit envelop your being, granting wisdom to discern the best opportunities and strength to overcome any obstacle. Go into your day with your head held high, for the Lord is your shield. Amen.